The Reserve Bank has put rates up and the Commonwealth Bank has gone even higher. The Melbourne Cup Day decision was a surprise to most economists, and the Commonwealth's move to almost double the 25 basis point rise is a shock to homeowners. It sparked a new round in the political prize fight over banking regulation, prompting the Treasurer to promise measures to increase competition. And it's also kicked the Australian dollar along, once again flirting with parity with the greenback. Political reporter Hayden Cooper.
So you thought interest rates would stay on hold? You must be a market economist.
Up 25. 475.
Most of them bet the same way, so the final race day result was shocking.
No. I love doing this to us. Wow.
No way.
The Reserve has moved by 25 basis points to 4.75%. It's the first increase in 6 months.
Oh, this is very much definitely a surprise. Nothing has substantially changed compared with last month. If anything, the inflation outlook has got better. But the Reserve Bank, it is scared about the future inflation here in Australia. It's decided to take a punt, lifting interest rates as a preemptive strike against inflation.
The Governor's statement confirms the fears. He warns of a large expansionary shock from the high terms of trade, compounded by relatively modest amounts of spare capacity. Looking ahead, he says the risk of inflation rising again over the medium term remains.
It's backing its own judgment, lifting interest rates to try and head off that threat from higher inflation.
At the races, Tony Abbott may have had his horse names a little confused.
The thing is plainly going to be the sentimental favourite.
But on interest rates, he was more prepared.
Plainly, you can't have a government which is still spending like a drunken sailor because that just puts the pressure on the Reserve Bank.
In more sombre surrounds, the Treasurer was having none of that, although he acknowledges the grim news.
Today's decision by the Independent Reserve Bank is a tough decision for families. It's a tough decision for small business.
And for Commonwealth Bank customers, it gets worse. They'll be hit with a 45 basis point rise, almost double the official increase.
This is a cynical cash grab by the Commonwealth Bank. There's no other way to look at it. I think Australians deserve a lot better, especially on Melbourne Cup Day, than to have this sort of cynical decision from the Commonwealth Bank.
The bank blames higher funding costs. The opposition blames the Treasurer.
Wayne Swan is being treated like a fool by the banks because they see him as weak and insipid. And they're right to, because Wayne Swan has no influence on the direction of the Australian economy.
Joe Hockey says it's yet more evidence of the need for banking reform. There's a sense of irony in all this. The intense focus on the banking sector comes during reporting season, when multi-billion-dollar profits are revealed, and tomorrow it's Westpac's turn. In this environment, any move beyond the official measure arouses even more suspicion than usual and could hasten a response from Canberra. The Treasurer has now confirmed he's working on a change. It'll arrive within the next month.
We need reforms to increase competition in the banking sector, and the government is working on a further package in that area. But we also need a change of attitude from some of our senior executives.
It's a lecture from the Treasurer, but are the executives listening? Hayden Cooper, Lateline.